The city was a beast, a sprawling labyrinth of steel and glass, shrouded in perpetual twilight. Rain slicked the pavement, reflecting the neon glow of street signs. It was the kind of city that swallowed you whole, and Lily loved it. Lily was a detective, hardened, cynical, with a sharp wit and an even sharper gaze. She had seen the city's underbelly, the darkness that lurked beneath its glittering facade. Homicide was her beat, and she walked it with a grim determination. Her latest case was a puzzle, a ritualistic murder, symbols carved into the victim's flesh. The clues were like whispers, hinting at something ancient and evil, something Lily couldn't quite place. As she stood over the body, a chill ran down her spine. A sense of familiarity, unsettling and unwelcome. It was like staring into a distorted mirror, a glimpse of something she couldn't comprehend. The symbols haunted Lily. They were etched into her memory, though she couldn't recall why. They appeared in her dreams, nightmares really, twisting themselves into grotesque shapes. She felt a growing unease, a creeping dread that clung to her like a shroud. The investigation led her deeper into the city's underbelly. She interviewed informants, consulted old case files, each step leading her closer to a truth she didn't want to face. The murders were too similar to ones from years past. Cases her father had worked on. Her father, a legend in the police department. A man she barely remembered, gone before she turned 10. He had vanished without a trace, leaving only whispers and rumors in his wake. Rumors of a darkness he had been chasing, a darkness that consumed him. Lily dismissed the thoughts, pushing them deep down. It was just the stress, the exhaustion. She was letting the city get to her. But deep inside, a seed of doubt had been planted. Days bled into nights. Sleep offered no escape, only a deeper descent into the labyrinth of her subconscious. The symbols were everywhere, branding themselves onto her soul. Her father's face, a hazy memory, began to merge with the face of the killer in her dreams. She couldn't shake the feeling that this case was connected to her past, to her father. It was an absurd notion, a figment of her sleep-deprived mind. But the evidence was mounting, forming a gruesome tapestry that pointed to a single, terrifying truth. One night, driven by a compulsion she couldn't explain, Lily broke into the police archives. She unearthed her father's files, his notes scrawled in a handwriting eerily similar to her own. The symbols, the rituals, the victims. It was all there. A wave of nausea washed over her. This wasn't just a case. It was a legacy, an inheritance of darkness passed down from father to daughter. And Lily was only just beginning to understand the true nature of her inheritance. The truth hit Lily like a physical blow. She wasn't just a detective. She was the daughter of a demon. Her father hadn't been chasing the darkness. He had been born of it. And she, unknowingly, carried that same darkness within her. Panic threatened to consume her. She felt a power surging within her veins, a force as old as time itself. It terrified her, this monstrous legacy thrust upon her. Yet there was a strange allure to it, a seductive whisper from the abyss. Lily sought answers, diving deeper into the occult lore her father had dedicated his life to. She discovered ancient texts, hidden societies, a world teeming with magic and monsters she had once dismissed as fairy tales. She learned of her father's pact with a powerful entity, a bargain for power that had come at a terrible cost, a cost that now fell upon her. Lily was not just a detective. She was a weapon, forged in the fires of hell, and the city was her battlefield. Section 5. Hunters and hunted. A city under siege. The city, once familiar, now pulsed with unseen energy. Shadows seemed deeper, the night alive with whispers and unseen eyes. Lily's senses were heightened, her perception warped by her newfound awareness. She was both hunter and hunted. She crossed paths with others like her, beings touched by the supernatural. Some were allies, drawn to her burgeoning power. Others were enemies, ancient beings who saw her as a threat, an abomination to be eradicated. The murders continued, each one a gruesome testament to her father's legacy. Lily fought to stay one step ahead, using her detective skills and her burgeoning demonic abilities to bring the perpetrators to justice. But she knew the true battle was yet to come. The city became a battleground for forces beyond human comprehension. Lily was caught in the crossfire, forced to choose a side in a war that had raged for centuries. And time was running out. Section 6. The Unveiling. Face to face with destiny. The investigation led to a confrontation. The abandoned church loomed before her, its stained glass windows like the eyes of 1,000 demons. The air crackled with power, a palpable tension that sent shivers down her spine. Inside, amidst the crumbling pews and decaying hymnals, awaited the source of her torment. Her father. He was not as she remembered him. Time and darkness had ravaged him, twisting him into something monstrous. Yet in his eyes, she saw a flicker of recognition. He had been expecting her. This entire time, he had been manipulating events, orchestrating her every move. He sought to awaken the demon within her, to unleash her full potential as his heir. Lily was both repulsed and strangely drawn to him. He was a monster, responsible for countless deaths. Yet he was also her father, a part of her, however twisted and corrupted. The Section 7, Clash of Titans, Daughter versus Demon. The air crackled with raw power as father and daughter clashed. Lily fought with the ferocity of a cornered animal, her detective's training blending with her newfound demonic abilities. But her father was a force of nature, centuries old and fueled by the fires of hell. The church became a whirlwind of shadows and fire. Lily's punches and kicks landed with supernatural force, but her father seemed to revel in the pain. He wanted her to embrace her darkness, to become the monster he knew she could be. He whispered temptations in her ear, promises of power beyond imagining. For a moment, she wavered. The darkness within her pulsed, eager to be unleashed. But then she saw the fear in the eyes of the city, the innocent lives caught in the crossfire. Lily refused to become her father. She would not let his darkness consume her. With a surge of willpower, she tapped into the last vestiges of her humanity, channeling her anger and pain into a weapon of light. Section 8. A New Dawn. The Weight of Power. The battle raged, a clash of wills that shook the very foundations of the city. Lily fought with the strength of 10 men, her every blow infused with righteous fury. Her father, taken aback by her sudden surge of power, faltered. The climax came with a blinding flash of light. A wave of energy erupted from Lily, banishing the shadows and throwing her father back against the altar. He lay there, defeated, his power broken. He looked at her with a mixture of pride and despair. She had surpassed him, become something more than he could ever be. In his dying breath, he revealed her true heritage. She was not just the daughter of a demon. She was the descendant of a celestial being, an ancient protector of the balance. With his death, that power now flowed through her veins, a responsibility heavier than she could have imagined. Lily had won, but the victory felt hollow. She had defeated her father, but at what cost? Section 9. Guardian of the Gray. A protector rises. The city slowly began to heal. The shadows receded, the nightmares faded. Lily returned to her life, but she was forever changed. She carried the weight of her lineage, the knowledge that the world was a far stranger and more dangerous place than she had ever imagined. She continued her work as a detective, but now she was something more. A guardian, a protector, sworn to defend the city from the forces of darkness. She walked the line between the mortal and the supernatural, her dual nature a source of both strength and isolation. Word of her exploits spread, whispered in hushed tones in the hidden corners of the city. Some feared her, others revered her. She had become a legend, a symbol of hope in a world teetering on the edge of darkness. Lily embraced her destiny, wielding her power with a newfound sense of purpose. She was the protector of the innocent, the shield against the shadows. She was the daughter of a demon, yes, but she was also so much more. Section 10. Epilogue. Scars of the past, hope for the future. Years passed. The city still bore the scars of its brush with the supernatural, but it thrived. Lily, older now, her face etched with the lines of countless battles, watched over it all. She had found a kind of peace, a balance between the light and the darkness within her. She had even managed to forge connections, tentative but real, with others who walked the same path. The city was no longer just her beat. It was her home. One cold, rainy night, as she stood on the same rooftop where she had confronted her father, Lily felt a presence beside her. A young woman, her eyes filled with a familiar mix of fear and determination. She was another lost soul, drawn to Lily's light. Lily smiled. The fight was never truly over. There would always be darkness to combat, monsters to slay. But she was ready. She was, after all, her father's daughter, and she would not let the city fall.